natural science. He prepared a PhD in the National Museum of Natural History. And at this time, he arrived a little very interesting story. He was a student in this museum, and a French politician man visited this laboratory and asked to the boss of this lab, I suppose it was Professor Marcelin Boule, a very famous paleontologist of this time. And this politician asked this professor, and why concerning the relation between science and religion? You are working on all ancestor of humanity, the Neanderthal man, this sort of question, and what arrived concerning the relation between your own science and the question of religion. And Professor Boule showed Teilhard and said, you know, this young man, he was 40 years old as me, this young man is a Jesuit, and he seems to have no problem with this sort of question. You see, at this time, perhaps things seems to be better at just 10 or 20 years before. But not for Teilhard. You know probably that in 1922, 23, he began to have some difficulties with Rome concerning their own idea, and perhaps he was obliged to leave again France and to go to China. From the religious aspect, it was a very difficult time for Teilhard, because I cannot say that he don't understand the situation, but you know, you are engaged in a religious order and obliged to leave your work, your engagement, for what? Probably a great part of no comprehension between you and your superior or so, your chief. Okay, but it's, he has made a obedience engagement, and he traveled to China and began a new life, and especially a scientific experience. You know perhaps that he take part to a very important discovery near Peking. It's the Peking man, the synanthrope, and he became a very famous scientist all around the world, especially in your country. Okay, and during this time, he took part to a very interesting adventure. It was the yellow travel, or a croisière jaune, with a Citroën car across all the Asia. It was two very famous adventures of this time. And if you want to discover what means for Teilhard the relation between science, humanity, religion, you can read a very interesting preach at the 1st January 1932. It was in the middle of nothing, in the Gobi Desert, and the man of this expedition asked Teilhard to celebrate a mass at this occasion of the 1st January. And he gave a very, very interesting preach, because, you know, people around him was not especially Catholic or Christian. Perhaps they are French people without great interest for religion. But at this time, they asked this man to do that. And you can perhaps read which talk he gave to this man at this time. It's very interesting. And how, for me, he tried to live with this man in this very specific adventure or research expedition, and how he tried to underline the same time the human challenge of this sort of enterprise and the religious challenge of this sort of enterprise. And it's a very interesting testimony for me. Okay, arrives the Second World War. For Teilhard, it was a time to be captured in Peking during 4 years. Impossible to fly. Okay, and after you know, the last time of Teilhard's life, it was the time where he was always between Paris, New York City, and south of Africa, engaged in the discovery of our own ancestor in south of Africa. And at this time, it's a very interesting period of concerning the relation between science and religion, because you have this encyclic of Pius XII, Humani Generis, with an official position concerning all this sort of research of origin of life, origin of humanity, and how the Christian, which position the Christian could choose this very interesting time concerning the research of our own ancestor. And it was interesting for Teilhard, and concerning the French situation, again, what arrived. Friend of Teilhard, scientists of France, didn't understand at this time why Teilhard was always Christian, was always Jesuit. Because, in fact, they understood this encyclic as a sort of condemnation of all their own research. In fact, it was not this perspective, but it's what they read. As scientists, they understand that. And they don't understand why Teilhard accepts this sort of condemnation. Why, again, he was always Jesuit and Christian. And it was a new period of conflict, in fact, between church and state, especially concerning this topic of science and religion in France. What they didn't understand, these scientists at this time, is that for Teilhard, belonging to the church was essential for this man. He wrote at this time very specific and very interesting papers concerning his own view of Christian faith, of the future of humanity, and the link between the future of humankind and the cosmic Christology, you know, perhaps as me, what means for Teilhard. And for Teilhard, the future of humankind was not different of the future of Christian church, and especially Catholic Church. And he said, even the authority of Catholic Church didn't understand my own reflection at this time, I cannot abandon this church at this time for me, because for me the future is here. Even if I not understood, even if I myself cannot understand what arrived to me, I have to stay at this place in this obedience, even if it's quite understandable, quite arrived.